Yo, what's up, people? So, what's gonna happen in this stream? I will tell you. For anyone who joined me on the Discord, there's a wrong thumbnail. I hope it's changed now. It's actually a wrong thumbnail. Now I'm putting a new thumbnail there. So, what I normally do is on this tonight, I just feel like streaming. I going to create setups for all these cars eventually. I already have the BMW, and I have the. Okay, we're gonna go back here, and we have the McLaren, and I also want to build other ones, and they all originate from Spa, because Spa is just a track where we can get all the extreme situations out of the car, and if it works on Spa, it can pretty much work everywhere. So I'm a little bit wondering what I should do. We have the BMW, we have the McLaren. I kind of want to go with the Ford. Let's do the Ford. And I hope these custom liveries will be here soon. So let's do the Ford, and let's build car setups for this car. We give ourselves 1 hour for this car. We put the tire warmers on. We're gonna build a high and a low downforce setup, maybe a mid preset if we have enough time. And then I can start testing that on different tracks as well. So yeah, let's get going. Tire warmers on. Let's have a look at the options. Yeah, we have the same stuff. Okay, let's go, people. And if you're here, say hello. If you have questions, let me know. I will try to explain the changes that I'm doing so everybody can understand what I am doing, why am I doing it, and all that good stuff. So, because in the game itself, you have, like on the online races, is still a lot of fixed setup stuff, which is fine. I think it's really good. But at some point when you're in leagues, you're probably gonna have open setups, and you want to have something that is at least consistent and quick, good on tires and all that stuff. So let's go with the half of the fuel. This is what I always do. It creates a nice switch over point from being a quali setup or like a full fuel race setup. And let's look at the setup custom here. What I always do, these ones we are going to delete. I'm gonna make them from scratch. This is what I particularly didn't really like start out with, so I'm just gonna delete that. And okay, all right, it's gone now. So first I always crank up that max rear wing. I keep everything the same. Probably want to get rid of the Packers and decrease a bunch of ride height. This is the most extreme situation for the car. We have max wing, we have max rake. Probably gonna drop the brake bias a lot. It's actually not that, or excuse me, we don't want to drop it. 43, 37. I think 45, 46 is a little bit of the minimum on the yeah, and then we have this one. I like this setting a lot. I'm not sure if this is super quick or meta or whatever, but I found that this really helps. I don't know how that's gonna go with the freaking Ford, because I don't know if this actually works with this car, but we're gonna find out very soon. All right, let's start the car. And I'm gonna explain the whole setup situation from start to finish, and then hopefully after an hour we get at least a good idea how the car should be set up to be quick and competitive. So you might think like, what you did, bro? This car is undrivable. Well, I actually found out already what the problem is with the car in this first step. So this is taking me what, like a few seconds to figure out. We have too much of the rear ride height. So The rear ride height is too high because we're losing it in Eau Rouge. So let's keep the wing on, yes, and we're gonna drop the rear ride height a little bit. Let's say a centimeter. And let's try it again. All right, let's go. Later on, I will show in the model why I made these changes. Okay, so all right. And guys, if you have questions, shoot. So, too much ride height, which was on 10 centimeters. Now we're putting it on 9. See if I can now take this corner. Still kind of interesting. Hey Yaki, how you doing, mate? So yeah, like I said, I just want to do some streaming. Normally I will do this on my own, but now I just felt like streaming this, so maybe we can do it more often. Understeer. So it kind of feels okay, but I think we need some damper changes. Let's look at Puhan. It's a little bit understeery on the throttle behavior, so... Hey, we know better. How you doing, man? How's the home situation? Got all the birthday stuff ready? Rotation, yeah, we got rotation. So let's have a look. It's actually really slow now with the high wing, but this is something I'm doing on purpose because I want to know how it acts. Let me just put in some telemetry for you guys in a minute. Oh, it might be too low, the traction control. Okay. So, like, what do we have here? We have... Maybe it needs to be on 5. Let's try that. So, we're learning the car. It's too aggressive. The traction control. At least for me. It's so understeery somehow. Okay, let's look at our routes again. So it's... Oh, you're just done. Okay, so now you can finally chill out and relax. Nice. Man, this car doesn't like our rouge. Because what the car does... Better... Then we can see the changes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely true. So, there's a problem with this car as I'm driving it. We have the initial entry. This car just wants to go in a straight line on the initial entry, and then after that it starts to come around, which feels like a damper problem. But I don't know how well a damper change would change the car. It's a Mustang, yeah, but let's change it. Also on Eau Rouge, when we also have the so we have the understeer on the dampers, and okay, so we have 10 changes on the bump. So now it's dead in the middle. Okay, so we want to bring this down. Bump. Should give us a more, like a little bit more response on the initial steering input. Also, the springs on the front are pretty stiff compared to the back. And what about anti-roll bar? So we're looking at springs, we're looking at dampers, the front end of the car. I think the brake bias is pretty low. I also think the anti-roll bar is really stiff. Now that is kind of okay, I think. I also think this is a lot of toe. Don't like the toe. Better have less toe. So softer dampers. Let's drop the ride height even more. And let's because once it starts to rotate, it's pretty rotaty. It might be too much. It's too rotating on the high speed. But then again, it's not responding that well, so bring a lower spring rate. Let's try this out. And let's call this a level. Is my face blocking the view, Ringelberg? Let's have a look. It's okay, you will understand. Yeah, spring rate. Okay, let me just change that then. Is better? I should be here, but I don't know how the driving is. Okay, let's do it like this then. Which overlay? You mean the track? Yeah, you mean this one. Yeah, I cannot change it right now. Okay, I can do it like this. Okay, let's keep you at that then. Here. So, okay, good. Let's do it. And guys, if you have any questions, shoot, because we're building setups here and I want to explain my mythology a little bit. So, okay, let's do the changes. We did a softer damper. We did spring rates upside down. We got rid of some ride height because if you make softer springs front and stiffer, or softer springs on the front and softer dampers, then yeah, we're gonna create even more rotation. I think in the fast speeds it's pretty good. So we have the max swing. This is fixed for me. We can also drop the anti-roll bar on the entry. It's kind of stiff. I don't know how high it can go. Yeah, it's pretty stiff. Okay, good. Let's save this one, shall we? And we call this. Let's call this high downforce level. We're going for a high level always first, or level 4, high level. High level means very rotaty. Level 1 means very safe. So if I'm gonna put my girlfriend in the rig, she's gonna get a level 1 and she needs to survive. You know what I mean? So that's how I set up the levels. Now it's understeering on entry, on the initial turn-in moment. And then after that it got kinda scary. So then actually the aero valves probably is gonna influences the car behavior. So we dropped that a little bit, so it should be less dangerous after the initial steering input, and now I hope it gets more responsive on the front with the lower bump on the front and the spring changes. Well, it's safe for now. It's still very lazy on the turn-in. It's more cooperative on the front now. Also wanna try to stiffen up the rear bump as well, probably. Okay, this is a lot better. I really feel this car is now moving more like I want it to. It's far better. So, I don't know what are fast lap times on Spa, but I just want a car that is going to feel great here. And we're probably getting like a 22 lap time or something, 23, because we have such a high wing, creating a lot of drag. But I just want to know how fast it is with the high wing. Now we still have the low traction control. You need to be careful with the low traction control. Okay, let's do a clean lap. Now I want full throttle here. Still can't get it to rotate. Maybe softer into roll bar. And even less ride height then. So I'm gonna stop the car because I just don't like how the fronts are not doing anything. The car just doesn't want to turn. So let's do even. Let's do 4 and like 2 clicks less. I don't know about toe. And I'm gonna create some packers on the back because I think let's just not do the packers. Let's stiffen up the this is always a little bit of a trade-off. Yeah, what you're gonna do, you're gonna decrease the suspension travel to create rotation on the throttle behavior, or you're gonna stiffen up the rear springs, but then when you go on throttle in the slow corners, that also hurts you. So I might want to do this instead. I want to have less suspension travel. What about this then? Yeah, okay, this is the same. Brake bias felt good. This I can get away with. Okay, let's show you something. Just a moment. What is I wanted to say? Oh no, I deleted that. Okay, so maybe later. Maybe later. Okay, let's try again. Softer anti-roll bar on the front. We might even drop the ride height even more now, but let's do this first. You know, after the update they came with the tire warmers. That was absolutely great because now I can just immediately start pushing the car. And yeah, that saves me so much time in this setup builds. I was kind of waiting for that change, to be honest. Okay, that's better. I think we might even have a softer anti-roll bar. So guys, normally I'm doing this like without the stream, so I'm like basically doing this alone. But I just wanted to bring you guys along for the ride. And if you can appreciate that, then shoot me a comment in the chat, so like I can maybe do it more often. Because it's not like I want to hide it for anyone. I think everyone should see what I'm doing and why I'm doing certain things. So after 20 minutes, I think we found a pretty steady baseline. I think it's very nicely rotating here now. Might wanna, like this corner, what we're approaching now, this is very important. I want to be on throttle here, and I want to have rotation here as I enter this corner. Now it's a little bit understeering still, but for level 4 this should be absolutely great. Here, blushing mode really feels good. So unforgiving, that track limit. Cannot get used to it. On ACC you could just cut that corner completely, but I think now it's a lot better. So after this we need to have a clean lap, and then we can measure it to the when we drop the rear wing. That's what we're gonna do after this. Might want to increase the rear bump, and then we'll fix all of the problems. Oh, here it feels nice. Oh, you can actually not do that here. Nice. Okay. So it's just understeering on the throttle behavior. So the throttle stuff, I think it's more about the dampers. Let's have a look at the preload differential. Okay, so that was also pretty much in the middle. Interesting. So I'm increasing the preload to create more rotation as I go on the throttle, and I'm gonna increase the bump on the back, and I'm gonna make even softer dampers on the front. So let me think about this. Like, yeah. Let's go soft on the rebound dampening. No, I'm joking. We're going a little bit harder on the front rebound dampening because I want the front end to be more on the bottom, and I want to get less rebound on the back, to have less dampening on the back. And now, hopefully, the car wants to be more pointed forward as I'm touching the throttle. So let's just go really stiff here. Suspension. Let's drop the ride height a little bit more. Let's try this out. I think this could be better. Let's save it again. Overwrite it because I wasn't happy. I also overwrite my setups all the time because I feel like, okay, this is an improvement. If I start saving it and give it all these different names, I just get lost with all the different namings and whatever. So that's why I'm always over-saving it. A great setup needs to be created in, like a great baseline should be created in an hour. Let's try it again. So, different rebounds, different differential. It's basically all the changes I made are for the throttle, initial throttle moment that I create some rotation in the car. So. I don't know, guys, is the chat still working? It seems like, because I'm typing or touching your keyboard, and sometimes I lose the chat in VR environments, so I'm gonna need to check that in a minute. Oh, that's better. I don't know if you guys could see the difference, but the back end just starts to step out when I wanted to. Look at this. I can now go full throttle here. So a little bit of a damper change, a little bit of a preload makes the car just a little bit more like stepping out on the back. Here as well, maybe a bit too much for that situation. Now obviously bus stop gets a little bit more slidey because of it, but then I can maybe to bring down the anti-roll bar in the back to get some grip back. Now, clean lap, let's go. I'm gonna drive a little bit under my limit to get that clean lap in. I had to lift, which I absolutely think is horrible. But somehow the Mustang doesn't want to rotate there, so I'm really not that hopeful for this car, for this particular track. I like the way it drives now. This I really like now. Setting the rotation. And don't forget guys, this is high wing, so like this car is now slow on Spa. But when there's gonna be tracks with a lot of corners, then this car is probably gonna be quickest. This way of setup. Screwing up the bus stop chicane here a little bit, so we need to remember that. Let's have a look, and this is a 2. This is actually not that bad. So I'm also using the light grip on track, and I have like 50% of fuel, so didn't really feel that was bad. Let's have a look here on the momento. All right, so let's go. I think this was pretty good, and the lap time we have is like a 222. So like, what are we gonna do now? Now I'm gonna switch over to a low wing setup. So I'm gonna drop the rear wing to the -2, and I'm gonna drop the ride height all the way to the bottom. Also, I'm gonna remove the packers. I'm gonna keep everything as it is. So I wanna have control with the lowest wing setting. Now this says minus. This is kind of scary, but we're very quickly gonna figure out if we can actually do that. So another trick you can do when you want a low downforce setup, you could drop from the hard, like the high downforce setup we created, we can drop the rear anti-roll bar and make the rear end a little bit less stiff, and we want to increase the brake bias because we kind of can never ever run that much low of a brake bias when we don't have the rear wing. So let's do a 50-50, and let's call this low downforce level 4. Noise. Okay. And what do we have else? We're gonna keep this. Okay, so the changes. I don't know. I cannot drive without the gloves anymore. I have more grip on the wheel, so. And the force feedback is gone again, but somebody told me to get a force feedback reset button, and now I got it back, so that's actually really good. So now we have the lowest wing, we have no rake anymore, and let's try. Probably gonna die here. If I cannot take a rouge because I'm starting to spin, that means the low wing is too much. This means we have too low wing. The car just don't wanna drive like that. Now there is something else I can do. I'm still not sure if I should go back to the original setup, like the custom, or from the high downforce setup. Something I'm thinking about. So I might want to bring this back. This was on, what was it, on 4, and this one I also wanna bring back, and let's try it again. I don't think it's gonna be better now, but you can always try. Hey Leon, man, how you doing? Welcome. Say me God. Okay, so low wing, staying. It's not possible. -2. Oh, and there it is. There, it's gone now. No. I don't want to do this job anymore. The rear wing says to us. Okay, so that was too low. It was too low. So let's go to the setup again. It says arrow. -2 is too much. So let's do 1 and try again. So for everybody who just jumped in, we made a high downforce setup, which felt pretty good, but somehow I could not go full throttle to a rouge, which is kind of strange. But overall, the car felt pretty good. We put in a lap, a 222 on a light track with a half full fuel tank, so not that impressive, but I don't care about the lap times. I like the car, so if I like the car, I can be quick with the maximum track conditions, the better track conditions. Okay, so I try now 0 wing instead of the -2, and then we'll go to the we're going to figure out if we can survive a rouge, because that's basically the first step now. I loved your video about the different simulators. Awesome. Yeah, it was a very hard video to make. It's actually not getting that much of views, but I'm glad you like it, Leon. Appreciate the message. By the way, guys, big shout out to Leon. He's like the longest, how do you call it? The longest Patreon member. So, kudos to him. Are you feeling the freedom now? Are you feeling the kilometers now? I don't understand your comment, man. Sorry. What do you mean? Okay, 0 wing. Can we survive? A rouge radio. Let's try Blasphemous as well. Well, look at the top speed, guys. Like, see the difference? Oh, okay, yeah. Well, this American car, Leon, wants to only go in a straight line. So yeah, I can feel the American DNA in this car. Yeah, I even put down the traction control, Leon, so... Let's look at Wuhan. This is a very important corner. Could be worse. Oh, you can only turn left. Yeah. Ovals, right? They always go left. Never the other way around. Let's look at Blasphemous. I think the differential is still helping us here. Wait, 4 minutes left for the session. Oh, this is tricky. It's possible. Now look at the delta, guys, what a low wing does compared to a high wing. I don't like the aero's behavior with this car. Now look at the delta, guys, look at that. Obviously, we're gonna lose out a little bit here. still need some tuning to do now with the because I don't really, I think we're gonna drop all the suspension stuff. Okay, so like same lap time, but if I had to do a race, then I would definitely go for this low downforce. But we still need to change some stuff about the car setup. I like the Mustang a lot, actually. I'm 0.5 seconds from the Porsche in Spa. I didn't feel as understeery in ACC, in my opinion. A lot more enjoyable and much better sound too. Oh, I totally agree. But I found this car behavior basically for every car. I found this game better. There's more details. Let me just check out. So I don't like the car. I don't like how it acts. And I do think I think that we can run this kind of wing, zero wing. I'm confident. It's very sketchy and loose though, so I'm creating a little bit more toe. Dampers, I don't know. Maybe I want to just bring every... I think this, like, I'm just making the car softer. So I want more body roll. It feels like the car doesn't really roll a lot. It feels very stiff, and it should have 5 centimeters of suspension travel. And why am I not feeling that? Brake bias pretty good. And yeah, so let's try this instead. It's all about experimentation, right? I'm gonna also override it. Okay. 20 minutes left. After this we can do maybe another car. So a softer car. Maybe that will act better. Should give us more mechanical grip, so. Okay. Okay, yeah. Well, I'm not carrying any wing anymore, so I'm at 0 wing. So if I do those changes, that probably is gonna get me in trouble. But we can do maybe a mid preset. Okay, this feels better somehow. Let's do a lap and let's try it out. I think we also need a different gear ratio. Okay, a softer car is definitely way more enjoyable on the Mustang. I think I want to drop the brake bias also. Because whenever I go on the brakes and I'm trail braking, I don't get the rotation as I wanted to. So let's drop it a little bit. 2%. More. This corner gets tricky though with the low brake bias. So, Leon, man, how is the home situation? Getting in some laps on LMU overall? I don't feel any difference on the lower suspension in the fast corners. Over here we have way more grip now. So, like, because of the soft setup, it just take that first corner a little bit quicker. This is good. Turn car, yeah. Small lift, okay. Let's look over here. The soft anti-roll bar and a better bus stop gives us 0.4 seconds. So when the track is optimal and we have an empty tank and I make better driving, I think we get into the 219s. So I'm pretty happy with this setup, but it's very advanced. It's very advanced to drive this, so I would call it, let's save this one and call it a level 5 instead. And we delete the level 4. Okay, so now we have a high level low downforce, which it has potential of a 219, so I'm pretty happy with that. And we're gonna be flying on the straights. So, oh yeah, man, I am a racing and official champ with the Ferrari 296 on Sunday mornings, and in my leagues I will be racing the hypercars, the Porsche 963. But I'm loving the Porsche 992 GT3, so I will be my main GT3 now. Okay. And testing all the hypercars. Oh man, yeah, I'm staying away from them because they create a new tire model for that as well at some point, I heard. Or they want to cross over this tire model changes that they put in the GT3 cars and they put that to hypercars, so staying away from that right now. I really want to, Leon, I really want to, but I really want to understand the GT3 cars first. Okay. Can't wait to get into the hypercars, but the thing is, I have this I put this work on myself to create setups for all the cars in LMU, and I cannot switch too much to the hypercars as of yet. So hey GT Gamer, how are you doing, man? Welcome. I'm just building some setups and I thought I'd just chill and make a stream. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this level 5. We have 10 more minutes left for this practice session. What to do? So, let's create a mid-wing. Let's like 5. Let's stiffen this up a little bit. Let's keep it like this. I like the soft anti-roller. Yeah. I get it, Leon. I totally get that. They're gonna be feeling very slow. Okay, so Oh, I suddenly realized something. Yeah, I think like after 20 hours I started screwing around with setups. So I did a lot of fixed setup racing already. I feel confident now to change them up. Yeah, let's do this. 20. A little bit stiffer. Still have the soft anti-roll bar. Dampers we don't touch. Okay. Yeah. Let's save this. Let's save this mid downforce. I need to change something about the low level first. I made a mistake here. Save this one. We need to load this one, and we have the brakes. This one we put on something like this. 47. Save the setup. Yeah, and we need to have the mid downforce loaded up. Okay, so and we'll definitely 45. Let's do 45. It's gonna be good. 44 maybe. I'm struggling a lot with the braking though. Those cars without ABS is a whole different level. Yes, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love them when you start driving them. Oh, I already I did. Yeah, I already touched them a little bit. Oh boy. I was P9 unless someone did regen on my face. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. The dailies, I reckon GT Gamer, yeah? I mean, the dailies, it feels like public lobbies sometimes. It's better than ACC public lobbies, but it's a fucking mess sometimes. And yeah. Yeah, I don't like the dailies. And then I went to intermediate races, so I'm thinking like it's gonna be better. It wasn't. So, okay, let's do this. We have 10 more minutes. Mid downforce, level 5. After this, we're gonna pick another car, or maybe cross it into a different track. I'm not sure. Yeah, the dailies. I don't like the dailies. It's better to be in a league with open setups, not the fixed setups. So much more control when you have your own setup. But Leon, yeah, I did some LMP2 and a little bit of a hypercar testing. Some races I did online. I like the tires a lot, the wear. Okay, I'm curious if we can actually attack our routes a little bit better. Yeah, Leon, yeah, exactly. So we need to be in a league or community races to have a good experience, right? I'm starting to learn the Mustang from this session that we're doing right now, so we're almost on an hour. And I'm pretty sure you want to drive this car with a low front anti-roll bar. Because it doesn't want to enter the corner, and to create better entry we want a low anti-roll bar. A little bit less ride height, I think. I come from AC Moza 1. LMU days are nothing, basically. Yeah, that's still a big contrast. We also have Moza here, right? So, what's this understeer all of a sudden? So we're gonna be a bit slower on the straight. Gonna hurt us like 2-3 tenths, I think. We should make up in the corners, hopefully. So this is a big difference, guys. See that, like a little bit of that increase of the wing. This is too much cutting. Yeah, you really need to trail brake. This is quick, isn't it? Now this is interesting, guys. This is really interesting. This is really interesting because now we're on a 221.4. So this is really interesting, and I will tell you why. Because what basically has been the story for the BMW and the McLaren is that the low wing absolutely thrives on this track. So the low wing is really giving you the lap time on the straights. This car, however, gets better with a little bit of wing. So yeah, that's kind of interesting to me. And this is how I measure the cars, really, because now I just know that a Mustang will be way better on the mid wing. So if I make setups and I think about cars in general, I know that you want to create some, you want to have some wing with the Stang. So at Leon Avalio saludos. You speak the same language, you two, I think. And the shaking GT Gamer is the worst on the McLaren. So yeah, let's do some more. So we have, okay, the time is up. So what we did, we created a mid, low and high downforce setup. Now I need to do this, bring this to different tracks to see what's what, but I'm pretty confident the mid level 5 is really good on pretty much every track except for Le Mans. Obviously we need low downforce over there. Again, something this car has, I saw just now, we have a long and short gear set radius, which is interesting. I think I want to keep that too long for the low downforce setup. Let's have a look. You two, get a room, okay? And speak your native language over there. No, I'm joking, go ahead. Teach me some Spanish, guys. Saludos de donde eres. Am I pronouncing it right? Okay, so we have 1 minute. Let me check out the gear ratio. Leon, you used to be... Leon used to be from Colombia, wasn't it? Or was it? Oh, Mexico, yeah, it was Mexico, sorry. Yeah, Canada, yeah, that I remember, but I was not sure where you're from. Still 5th gear, yeah? So this is definitely Le Mans gear ratio. Still need to be sensible with the throttle. Okay, good. Let's do another car. We have 1 more hour left, so we can do another car. End the session. This car is good. I like... So... Emir hashtag COD. Hi, can you show your setup on the Porsche GTE? I can't get better than at 148 at Moza. Well, I don't have any for the GTE yet. Okay, Leon, make her happy, yeah? Just make sure the boss is happy, and then you can do maybe later what you want to do. So yeah. I want to visit Canada. I also want to visit Canada, man. I think it's a great, like, it's so much, it feels like there's so much space there. So, yeah, Emir, COD, I don't have any GDE stuff to share as of yet. I don't know if I will ever do that, but maybe I will. So let's do another race weekend, and now we're gonna pick. I want to pick another car. So for everyone who's just jumping in, I did setups on the BMW. I have a pack for that, and I have a pack for the McLaren. Now we did some exploration with the Ford. It seems like low wing isn't really the thing to do. It is flying on the straight though. I did some testing with the Porsche and the Aston Martin, but I really want to go for this car right now. This car I want to check out. And I also want to show you guys something. Yeah, this I want to show. No, I want to... just a moment. I need to figure out how I want to show this. Projects. Where are my projects? Here it is. I want to open this project. I have a potential 2025 Spa. It will be interesting how to improve my braking. Yeah, the braking. So guys, I want to show you something. Here it is. So there's gonna be a video about this next week, Friday. So what I'm basically doing, and I didn't explain this, but I will explain it now, that I want to have a situation where I can be full throttle on this corner, and on this corner. Then I'm testing out the lowest brake bias in these corner sections. And then I drop the anti-roll bar and spring settings to get quick in these corners. But first I set the balance over here with ride heights and wing settings. This is more about brake bias and the front end of the suspension. And this is more of basically lowering all suspension to get more mechanical grip, because soft springs will give you more mechanical grip. And then when I'm testing this out, we're going full circle and try out these corner sections again to have still the balance from the first changes we did. So step 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 step. Let's go. Okay. Good stuff. Then we go to the game again. Okay, so we have this car. I've never ever driven this car. Oh, it says the 1.5 wing on Spa as default. How low can this one go? Oh, it's already pretty low from the baseline. Let's do 0.5. Let's look at the rest of the setup. Oh. The GTE doesn't have ABS, and it's it has less downforce. It has higher top end. That's what I knew from the GTE. So the GT is the GTE slower than the GT3? Maybe on Monza, then the GTE will be faster, or Le Mans, but on a track with a lot of corners, let's say Interlagos, maybe not. Maybe on the top speed it's faster. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, so we don't have a lot of changes here. This is only a little bit. Wow, we have a lot of backers here. What the? Jeez, let's remove them. I don't want packers. Not that much, at least. What about dampers? Okay, interesting. What about anti-roll bar? Very stiff front anti-roll bar. Interesting. Let's keep it like that is. Okay. So the cars are all different, which is kind of funny. Okay, the brake bar is pretty high as a baseline. And let's do this again. 713. Okay, let's test it out, guys. This is gonna be low downforce. Low DF level 5. But I first need to do a high downforce setup. So that's 9.3. And yeah, that's basically the same stuff. Let's do this. Oh, it's pretty high brake bias compared to... They all go to 43, so it's probably a G3 restriction. Let's keep it 45. I have no clue what this should be. Let's do this first. Now, maybe people would say, yeah, you cannot do that. You need to first test and tire pressures, blah blah blah. I don't work like that, people. I don't have a lot of time. I have a family. I have kids. I have a lot of stuff going on in this life. So I want fast results, and I just know from car setup building experience that this is the way to go. Now, what I do, I'm sure that the bars from ACC setup page help me to learn it faster. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely, GT Gamer. Definitely. So I want to figure out one high downforce if we can survive Eau Rouge and set some car balance here. This is my first time ever in this car. Oh, fuck. We forgot something. I forgot the tire warmers. Let's just restart. I'm new in LMU, came from Automobilist too. Okay, so you need to, you're gonna need to be learning a lot of stuff because it's completely different. Also, the setup changes I'm going to explain, they make no sense if you apply it to Automobilista. So, I have a new video on the channel and about how to build your own car setups. It's really good. I think it's really good. It's great to start out with. Okay, this is what we need. Tire warmers. You need to put the tire warmers, or else you will be just spending 300 laps to heat up the tires. Okay, so I have the tire warmers now. What I like about this game is that I can take off the headset and go to the menus and show you guys. Yeah, I cannot do that in ACC. I need to keep the headset on. So, and now my eyes get some rest from the screen, so I can... Just joined, the best $8. Okay. Philip Killer, welcome. Yep, your video is good. Thanks, Amir. Amir? And yeah, so high downforce, guys. Let's go. We still need to change the fuel. What do we do? Fuel 50%? Yeah, okay, let's go. Curious how this is gonna go. Ooh, this is angry car. I love it. I love this sound. Oh, stable. Igor. Okay. Igor. I don't know. Don't be hating on me if I don't remember. But yeah, Igor. Is that like? What country is that? Like? I like this car, guys. This is a great car. Ooh, I like this car. Oh my god, this is great. It's great. Did we get lucky on the setup? This feels so much better than before. Yeah, this was I thinking. A little bit oversteering. Very rotaty. Maybe a little bit less ride height. Ooh, it's not that fast. It's straight now at the highway. Yeah, you like the sim, Philip? I like it as well. I like how it, like in VR, I like how it is. Okay, no worries. Pretty good. Better than this thing. Also slower. The highway. With the low wing, this car needs a lot of work, most likely. No. Okay, well, it needs some work in this corner. It's kind of interesting that I lose it over there. So the exits of the first and last turn is trick. I've spun several times. Okay, so that's maybe a little bit of the traction control then. Okay, so this is something I never experienced before that I'm losing it on the hairpin, which is interesting, and it's very easy to solve, really. And that's with the anti-roll bar. I'm gonna detach that. Fuck. Yeah, and I like, I mean, if you're like, you're playing games or you're playing a sim or you're executing a hobby, I mean, like, if there was a system or like a something of a membership or a community to have live stewarding, broadcasting, I would even pay some money for that and then to join it as to get a really good experience in sim racing, yeah, instead of just doing the daily races, which I don't really like. Okay, so what do we have? We have a twitchy front end. We have a car that is very rotating on the brakes to the front, to the point that I really like it. I think the brake bias is a bit on the low side, so I will increase that one. We just did a softer anti-roll bar because it's too, like, I want create grip in the slow corners, and that rear anti-roll bar detach is gonna give me it's gonna give me that. We already have the softest spring rate. Let's test it again. Yeah. What is standard minus +1? Interesting. What about preload? Okay, so it's pretty high in the preload already. That's interesting. So it, like, guys, if you're coming from ACC and you were an Audi boy, this kind of feels like an Audi in a lot of ways. Okay, so let's save this and call it this one. Oversave it. Level 5 high downforce. Another lap. Hopefully we still had the rotation in You know what I also like about this tons of value and vibe. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot too, mate. Okay, so let's do this. I like this way more for myself. Oh, now the car is better. I do feel when I look at the display here in VR, it feels like, I don't know, cheap or something. I think we need even more brake bias. Let's push that up a little bit more. Okay, this is way better now. Way more control. I already know that the low downforce is going to be really interesting. This is a completely different car compared to every other car. I think this is pretty hard to drive, but as for someone who's been sim racing quite a while, oh, looking at the chat. Love to shout out to Canada. Okay, yeah, well, I mean, like my sister-in-law, she used to she did a half year Canada, and it's like when I see those pictures, it feels like there's a lot of nature. And not so hot, right? So like a cold climate, like Scandinavian, kind of think that's interesting. I think you need to live in the cold areas of the world as the world is heating up. So the north is interesting to me. Okay, let's do a lap. Rouge, Ranion, I really would say 10 points for confidence here. Top speed is very low on the high wing. Every car is very slow with the high wing, yeah, make no mistake. I think we can have less ride height, it's really aggressive. I think the ride height is too much, so we have a lot of rake in the car. 8.5, and it's really tough on the rotation. So, but now over here we don't have the issue, so it's kind of interesting how this car behaves. So a 23.6, that is way slower than the Stang, but it was more fun on the high downforce. But I also had some corrections, so it's not really fair to make the comparison to the Stang. But I would say that we want to probably get some less ride height, and then I will be like a little bit more of this brake bias to make it more safe. What else? That's basically it. Okay, so toe pressure. Can you tell what's the best toe pressure? Like, you mean the toe-in values? I would, like, as for toe-in values, I would just go for, if you need extreme, then you're doing it wrong. So I would have close to 0 toe values normally. And if you have pressures for the tires, lowest. Lowest always. In, mid, out. Oh, I can see now why this car does the way it does. I want to have, and also the camber. Camber is a bit broken in this game still. We want the least amount of camber, as what I've seen and what I've used. So, and like the tires, wet or medium, we don't have to do any changes there. Okay, so this is what I liked about. I still need to do a lot of test runs with this to actually make it some sort of a product, but I think this is a good baseline. So let's load up the low wing. 0.5, we want to detach the rear anti-roll bar. Of that I am sure. And we remove the rake here. So we have no rake. Yeah, that's the most important difference between high and low wing. No rake. Okay. Hey, Jose. My man. How are you doing? I'm good. I'm doing some setup building for... Okay, good. You won't regret it. What, 13? That's like in, what, Thursday it is? So, okay, good. Let's test low wing setup. Not so confident for this one. I'm still wondering what standard or plus radio set means, but Okay, anyways, let's save it. Let's have a look if we can survive our rouge. So everything calmed down, you say? At home? Pretty good place now? Yeah, okay, let's do it. Tire pressures. Okay, yeah, so, oh shit, now I forgot. Igor, was it? Igor? Okay, good to hear, you say. Good to hear. I won't get into it on stream. But, yeah, so did you get your answer, Amir? Igor? Okay, presume, okay. Low wing setup for the Corvette. Might want to increase the packers here. I don't think we're gonna survive our rouge now. I'm also curious about the top speed. Interesting. We can actually do it. Oh, this car is not so fast in the straight, is it? Oh, it's so understeery now. What? This car is very sensitive on the ride heights. Interesting. It doesn't want to rotate. So interesting, this game. It's constantly surprising me. Like you go on throttle and immediately it's like understeer, where we had more rake and more rear wing, it was like really loose on the back. Interesting. Now we have like, it feels like an Audi from ACC. Now it's very understeer. Understeer, massive understeer, amazing. Okay, so we have so much understeer. I'm not even gonna finish the lap. So massive understeer, but also rotation on the braking. And I kind of want to go a certain direction here. By the way, guys, if you're liking these kinds of streams, let me know, because like normally I'm doing this, like these setup changes when I'm on my own, but I just want to tag you along with the journey. I was thinking about making streams and doing real deep explanations, but as I'm like want to chill a little bit, right? So okay, I want to create some packers, because on the braking, like when I'm mid corner, I have so much like rotation, but I don't have any rotation when I'm full throttle. So we want to create some ride height to create some additional rotation in the car. We create some packers on the front, and on throttle it's very on the throttle behavior, it's very understeery. So might want to go slowly on this one and want to create a little bit of rear springs to get some stiffness on the back. We don't have any, like spring rate's very minimal to the change here. Entry. Not sure about this yet. The changes we make, detached. Yeah, I don't know yet. Powertrain. Okay, let's try this. Low downforce setup. Save it. Again, I don't want to have a million save files. I'll just get overwhelmed. Okay, let's do it again. A little bit more ride height. Little some packers on the front. And yeah, let's see how it acts now. I really like. It's better now. Better on LMUs. It's not so quick on the straights though. Rotation on the throttle just because of the rear spring. Yes, right. So the rear spring's really doing their job here on the throttle behavior. I think it's slow. This might be even slower than the Porsche on the straights. Some understeer here. Nah. Okay, let's do a clean lap. Bye. Interesting what it does to the delta though. Wow, 7/10? Really? You know, this game just keeps surprising me. And I will tell you why. This is why, there's something going on in my brain here as I play this game that I'm so much not getting anywhere else. Let's do a clean lap after this. Oh, it's understeer. We need to do one more change before we can get that lap time out. I have to buy a hex Allen key to fix my shitty logic pedal. I keep pooping my hernia trying to stay off the beach turn 1. I realize I'm going nowhere till I sort that out. Stay well, all. Okay, man. Thanks for dropping by. And good luck with that Allen key. So, okay, so there's definitely some understeer on the fast corner. And this is the Packer is definitely the one responsible for that. And there's I got nice rotation from this change that I did, and I might want to increase the ride height just a little bit more, and yeah, that's basically it. I will explain now what I think is so cool on this game. So currently, 51 was okay. This aerodynamic model is different for every car. And as I'm looking at the top speed of this Chevrolet Corvette, or is it Corvette, is it? I get a little bit like, I thought it was pretty slow on the straights. But when I compare the car, the Delta with high and low wing, I see that on 140 kilometers, this car really starts to accelerate a lot quicker. So this car might not have the best top speed from all the cars, but the acceleration is wild on the low wing, which is very interesting to me. Now I want to get a 21 lap time, because that makes me competitive with a half full tank and with the changes that I did. So let's just save this one. Yeah, okay. So yeah, let's try again. Let's hope the changes now really fix the erosion, especially the blanchiment point. It's kind of interesting that we get the desired rotation here. It's okay, it's like a little bit understeering, but we don't get it on blanchiment, which is strange. So we need to look at the revving of the engine. There it is. So the backers really really help the understeer, remove the understeer. Let's do a lap under our limit. Look at the acceleration on the Delta, which is absolutely insane. Small lift here. Did not make it dirty. Look at the Delta, man. It's absolutely insane. Like a second in this, like, on the straight. Never ever run a high wing with this car. again, this delta just drops a lot in the like when you're like 160 or something. Steer. No, don't, please don't fucking invalidate the lap, man. Okay, one more lap then. One more lap. I think, Philip, if you're like, are you gonna commit to this hobby, then the earlier you get a DD, the better it will be. Keep doing invalid laps. Let's just think. Again, the delta is going to drop again here, but not so much as in the first sector, which is interesting. I'm starting to hesitate if I did actually the first sector a little bit good with the other setup. Really attack these corners. Let's do one more lap. Look at this, man. Like almost a second. Unbelievable. Still a lot of work to do on this car. I think this car is the hardest to set up, as I experience right now. I think this car is the most difficult to drive. Yeah, I like, also like the direct drive gives you a lot of like the changes, but also the force feedback itself. You're just gonna feel a lot more. It's gonna respond very quickly to you. And immersion wise, it's also great. So. Don't you invalidate on me, car. Okay, 22 point. This is kind of meh. It's slow. It's a slow car on the low downforce. It's a slow car on the high downforce. The base game gave us like 1.5. So let's do, what's the half of this? 0.5, 9.3, so 9.5. It's like, let's do 4.5 as a mid downforce setup. Yo, what time is it anyway? Okay, we can do a few more runs. A little bit lower brake bias because now we have some weird wing pressure. We can have a little bit more ride height. Yeah, 6.3, 6.5, let's do that. Spring stiffness, not sure. Plenty of entry grip. Let's just keep it like this is, like this, detached. Yeah, I like this. Let's try this. Yeah. So Philip, also consider a Moza. It's really good. I used to have a DD Fanatec, and now I have a Moza. I just put this Moza on and never changed back, so let's say something. I think, like what I know now from all the cars, this is probably the hardest one. It's the hardest one to set up, and it's the hardest one to drive. Okay, let's try again. You know what's funny? There's like a piece of sheet metal in the car that is resonating, or it's like something isn't connected right in the car, it sounds like. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's gonna... The difference is huge. Okay, so... I did not find a lot of force feedback difference between the Moza and the Fanatec. I would say that the Moza has 10% more detail over the Fanatec DD that I had, so... Okay, let's do trying out a little bit of a earlier gear shift. doesn't really seem to make any difference. Why is no understeer all of a sudden? The more ride height we need. Come on, turn, piece of shit. Costing time, the understeer. Okay. Well, this wasn't a validation anyways. Okay, thank you. Not gonna go cheap now. I'm gonna swap out pedals, load cell, as skill levels requires. Moza seem well priced. Yeah. Yeah, I think you got a good kit from the pedals they have, the steering wheels they have. I have an R9. I would go R12. This one, the R9, gets pretty hot at like when you're doing longer races. So try out, and I would go R12 if I had to buy one. It's a bit more expensive, but okay, it's a hard car to set up. It's definitely harder to drive than every other car. I think we might need some packers on the back to create some rotation on the throttle. And yeah. So still a lot to do. You really need to get used to this car, obviously. And yeah, for the rest, I think I'm gonna save it like this is a mid. So yeah, we built 3 kind of rough. Last week I watched one of your ride height and wing, and I found at least dozens of seconds of burst on them. I am pretty pathetic. Well, I mean, we all are, aren't we? It's just where you're comparing yourself with. Don't compare yourself to me, as I don't compare myself to esporters, because then I'm also pathetic. So compare yourself with like how good you were a half a year ago and look at progress like that. I think that's more healthy for your brain, for your confidence, Because the thing is, with sim racing, there's always a wanker that is faster than you. It's pretty much a guarantee. So you will always suck until the day you die. So yeah, so I think let's go back to the cars and talk about that a little bit. So the Austin, I did not. I need to drive more laps, but it definitely felt way more easy and more like rotated than the Ford. This car is pretty freaking. The Chevrolet Corvette is really like, it's a lot of fun, but it's also gonna be probably the hardest car in the game. I really like the McLaren. I really like the BMW, also the Austin. But then after that, it's gonna be tough to see which car is fastest. It seems to me like the BMW is outclassing every car. So if you want a fast car, go BMW. Also, the McLaren is pretty quick. Porsche and the Chevrolet are the slowest on the straights on Spa. Of that I am certain. So if you want to go Spa, probably not gonna pick the Chevrolet or the Porsche. So yeah. Any questions in the chat? Counting on sucking. Okay, yeah. Well, started last month, I mean. Do the laps, do the reps. Did you have racing experience before, or is this just also the racing experience? It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. So questions, guys? Oh, now I'm actually getting tired. I'm trying to improve the streams as explanation, but yeah. Let's just exit the game. So next Wednesday I have ACC, Assetto Corsa Competizione race on Silverstone on the pit scale. I think I'm gonna do that, and then on Sunday we have the community races. So that's basically it. Izzy Sharp, where is the best place to get setups for a newbie struggling, please? Like, if you're a newbie, like, which sim, Izzy? Which sim do you drive? I mean, if you want to do LMU, then you could just go to pick the fixed setup and start, like, drop the anti-roll bar to the back if you're on an open series to make it safe. But if you want to Izzy, if you go to the description of this stream, I have setups for beginners as well for ACC and also for how do you call it? The LMU. I got the BMW and the McLaren for the GT3 cars. So, but also look at the channel and the videos. I mean, they explain a lot. And if you want to shortcut that, then yeah. So on what sim you are, Izzy? Because if you're on ACC, then I have a whole wall of videos and content and whatever. So let me have a. Hey, Philip. Philip just became a Patreon member, didn't you? Thanks for the support, man. Thanks, man. Thanks for the support. Space Dudes, planning to rewatch some of your vids. Setups are still Chinese to me. Yeah, like LMU for the last few days when I try the wheel settings dialed in. Okay, so yeah, I like the way I set up my setups, and I'll also make videos about this for the hypercars, I think, at some point. But also the GT3 cars, I will make a video about the levels. So I will explain. Let me just go to the like how that actually works. So if you go to my awesome stream right here. Not here. We go to so if we go to the setups here, like the way I'm looking at it right now, we have the BMW and the McLaren. These ones I update a lot for the future. So there's a lot of like stuff, updates I still need to do about these two. And if you go to, let's say, ACC setups that I've been building, let's say the McLaren, this one has 14 presets, and you have high downforce setups, low downforce setups, and like a preset for every track, Nürburgring setups. But these setups are not, bro, I'm not showing this to you. Just a moment. This is what you need. Sorry. So let's say this McLaren setup for Assetto Corsa Competizione comes with different levels of setup. So like a level 1 is something for a beginner. And then when you are a beginner and you like this level 1 will really help you with consistency and not spinning, right? Then level 2, we're removing some traction control, we're removing some ABS, we're making setup changes that the car gets more aggressive on the front end. The most aggressive car on the front end will be the fastest, has the most potential lap time. But if you are struggling with your inputs, if you don't really can, if you're not, how do you say that? If you can't really trail brake, then picking a higher level will get more challenging until the point where you lose consistency. So the levels are a great way. So let's say I would go like bot. Let's say you bought this. What you can get the McLaren zip files that you can copy into the game, so you'll have all the setups on every track. You'll have a fixer, so whenever you have a setup, you think to yourself, man, I don't really feel like this car is doing what I want. I made the best possible changes, like a solver, so in there, and also a PDF file that shows like pick a low downforce setup on Monza, pick a high downforce setup on the Hungaroring, right, to get the best lap time. Videos in there with all more detailed explanations. And if you go to I need to go here. So, and I'm also creating this for Le Mans Ultimate. So this BMW pack just came out a few days ago, and like 5 different levels, high, low, and mid downforce, tested out on a lot of tracks, how to install it, all that stuff. So that's my whole philosophy, because this is something I really wanted. Now, obviously, you don't have to buy. Absolutely, you don't have to. If you go to my YouTube channel, obviously Le Mans Ultimate is now pretty new, so I don't have a lot of videos about that yet. But if you go to the channel and you go to videos or the playlist, and you have like, let's say, I have now making the Le Mans Ultimate videos, but I also have like the overall knowledge.
Stiff setup to be the
like this playlist right here. This is all about car setup as in general. So this is more broad. This you can apply to Le Mans Ultimate as well. I would even say iRacing. You can even apply this to iRacing. Then the setup levels, to understand levels even better, you should go look at tutorials ACC.
We have so much braking.
And oh no, I'm making a joke here. Arnout watches Arnout, yeah. No, like I need to watch a lot. Like okay, yeah, this one, how to build car setups in ACC. Was it?
Did you ever want to make your own?
Shut up, man. Yeah, this one's. Okay, like this one level. This is the best ACC video that I made. This shows like what I do with all the different levels. I drive a lap, I get faster lap, I make setup changes, I get a faster lap, I make setup changes, to the point where we're driving like a 217 or something. What was it? like a low 217 or something. So I really like that way of making content. So check it out. Armamentario. Yeah, I used to use that, but with the streaming now, it's not really working. So I'm kind of not using Armamentario at the moment. So yeah. Yeah, have a look, Izzy. And yeah. So. Any questions? Space Dude. Thanks. Yeah. I really highly recommend to watch the videos, make the changes yourself. But yeah, you can also support me and buy them, and you know, it's up to you. If you want to spend 3 hours or you spend $3, you know, that's the difference. So I'm also gonna make that for LMU. I think it's important to have beginner-friendly setups for the LP2 cars and hypercars, especially with the braking. You know, the braking is really hard with the LMP2 cars and the hypercars. So still not sure how I'm gonna fix it, but we'll find a way. So. Something else? Then I will stop the stream. Maybe I will do this next week or in 2 weeks again. I think the setup streams can be nice. I'm doing them anyway, so if I can share a little bit or you can ask me questions, then yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching, and a little bit unexpected maybe for some. So I see you guys on Wednesday. Wednesday I do a really sweaty race with a really fast community. So. Thanks, you say, Mr. GT. We talk tomorrow, yeah? Let's talk about, let's talk for you in the morning, 10 o'clock or something? 11? Okay, good. See you guys later. Bye-bye.